Coming up here on Chicago Bears Now, Ryan Poles might have done it again, guys. We'll tell you what that means here on Chicago Bears Now. I'm Harrison Graham. Did Ryan Poles find his latest hidden gem in Bill Murray? Not the actor. I love Groundhog Day. Bill Murray, the guard who stepped in for an injured Teven Jenkins against the Panthers and quite frankly played flawless. He was absolutely fantastic. And these were actually his preseason PFF grades. We kind of got a little bit of a taste of Bill Murray in the preseason here. This was over 125 snaps, only had the one penalty, gave up 0 pressures, hurries, in sacks in the preseason. You're thinking, okay, like, what does this mean? It's preseason. Well, it showed me enough to make the team, which I'm glad he did make the team. I don't know if we have his PFF grades from this past game or not, Cullen, but Bill Murray, in general, came in there in a real game, yes, against the Panthers, and was pretty dominant. No penalties, no pressures, no hurries. Overall grade of 84. Pass block 86. Run block 79. Like, not only did you not miss a beat, he looked like he played better than Teven Jenkins, who graded out pretty well in the snaps he got. But, Bill Murray was very good. He was your highest graded offensive lineman this week in terms of, guys who got extended look in terms of snaps. So, I just wonder, is there something here with this? And that's the point of this video. We're going to kind of analyze this guy. Where did he come from? What's his background? I'll just say this right off the bat. I want to see more. I want to see more out of Bill Murray. I don't know how you get him on the field. I don't know if you have to bench somebody. I don't know if with Teven Jenkins' ankle situation, is it kind of just the perfect storm to just say, hey, Teven, we're just going to sit you for a week. But I know this. In the preseason, it looked awesome. In training camp, it looked awesome. And in the one game we've seen him play, it looks awesome. Small sample size, but I want to see more. Should Bill Murray, what a name, start against the Jaguars? Type S for start or B if you think he should still be a backup. I would like to start him. Pen comment on today's show. Let me know what you guys think. So who is Bill Murray? Well, he's 27 years old. You'd think, oh, maybe it's like a 24-year-old, 25. No, he's been around for a little while. Played college football at William and Mary, which I believe is an FCS level football program. 2020 undrafted free agent with the Patriots, was there through 2022, early in 2023 before getting cut. Joins the Bears practice squad last season, and this year makes the Bears roster. And I start digging, and I kind of vaguely had remembered reading about this last year when he was on the practice squad. I'm like, Bill Murray, where does this guy come from? How about this? He played defensive line in college and to start his NFL career. I mean, this is not a guy who has been playing offensive line for very long. And, oh, by the way, he's a pretty good defensive player in college for the level he was playing at. 19 sacks in 40 games, sack every other game. 32 TFLs, 4 forced fumbles. He was a pretty good defensive player. That got him onto a 90-man roster and a practice squad as a kind of tweener defensive tackle, defensive end. He was about 280. And while Bill Belichick in 2022 is let's try you on the offensive line. It's like classic Belichick. You might be someone who could play up front. Switches to O-line in 22. Sticks around on their practice squad. Actually played in a game that year. I think he was like a game day call-up from the practice squad. That's the only other game he's ever played in. And now, fast forward a couple years, he's on the Bears practice squad last year, developing. This year, he earns a 53-man roster spot, and he's only known the position for 2 years. It was July of 2022. I looked this up when he switched positions. Think about what we're saying here. This guy was 6'4", 280, career defensive lineman in college, early on in the NFL. 2 years ago, switches to offensive line, and 2 years later, he's in a game on an active roster, dominating. I mean, that is a pretty impressive thing when you really think about it. I mean, that is pretty unique. Now, and that's why we're going to dive into this too. Is this a blip? Is this real? Can he be a starter in the NFL? Both short and long term? We're going to dive into all that, but it's a hell of a story. And at worst, he looks like quality depth. And that alone is a great find by Ryan Poles and a good job by the Bears to develop this guy further. So subscribe to the channel. We bring you guys the latest Bears news, rumors, stories like this that are fun, my analysis and opinions on all major Bears storylines out there, and a whole lot more. We go live multiple days per week, including game days. Subscribe and join us for more Bears content. So coming up next, can Bill Murray be a long-term answer at guard on the Bears' offensive line? We'll kind of dive into the reasons he could, the reasons he could not, depending on how things play out. But first, I do want to tell you guys about today's sponsor, Game Time. You want to go see Bill Murray, not the movies, the guard play? Well, go get your tickets with Game Time. Plenty of Bears games coming up, both on the road and at home. Game Time is the best ticketing app out there to help you get the best deals on the best seats with their super deals, which kind of show you the best bang for your buck depending on where in the stadium you are looking to seat. That is part of Game Time Picks as well, which kind of filters out the thousands of tickets so you're not stuck scrolling forever. It'll kind of analyze some different spots in the stadium and show you kind of the best deals depending on kind of what you're willing to pay. Like if you want really good seats, well, here's the best bang for your buck. If you want kind of upper level, here's the best price, etc. Game Time Picks makes it a lot easier to go see your favorite teams, favorite artists go perform. The Game Time app also shows you views from the seats because you want to make sure you have a vantage point you're willing to pay for. Last-minute tickets for the lowest prices guaranteed. Download Game Time today. Create an account. Use our code CHATSPORTS, all one word, CHATSPORTS, to get $20 off your first purchase only. Code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Terms apply. What time is it? It's game time. Download the Game Time app today. All right, can Bill Murray be a legitimate starter? It's obviously an unknown, right? Like, there's no way to have a firm answer on that. I know this. You're only going to know if you try, right? If you give him an opportunity. So why he could be a long-term starter? Well, think about how quickly he's learned this position. Switching to offensive line 2 years ago to making a roster 2 years later and getting into a game and having a basically flawless performance. And by the way, go to my Twitter feed at HGramNFL. I quote tweeted a clip from the All-22 from this past game. He blocks his guy initially, sees that Braxton Jones is getting bull rushed, shoves him to the ground, and then finds someone else to block. He blocks 3 guys on one play. How many times in the past, Sam Mustipher, Nate Davis, are we screaming at the TV, go find someone to block? Like, there's always someone to block, and this guy is looking for contact. I mean, I absolutely loved it. I would encourage you to go find that clip at HGramNFL. That kind of gets to this point. Relentless motor. That jumped off the page. Like, he's always looking to help out somewhere because sometimes you got 5 blocking 3, right? Well, go double somebody. Well, go find someone to block. Hey, maybe there's backside pressure. I'm going to go help the right tackle out. He's always looking to make a play and to have an impact up front. And number 3, seems to have a good balance. The technique seems good for a guy who just switched positions a couple of years ago. Like, that's the thing you're concerned about the most when you switch positions, really, in any sport, in any position. Offensive line in particular, though, like, it requires a lot of technical skills, contact balance, footwork, handwork. Like, do you have that little punch? Can you absorb a bull rush? A guy like Braxton Jones struggles with that. So the fact that his technique is as sound as it is, I'm not saying it's perfect, is a pretty good sign. All right, why he might not? Well, the game reps are extremely limited. You're talking about 125 preseason snaps this year, probably a few last year, and 37 snaps in a real NFL game this past week. Like, it's small. So, 300 more snaps go by. You'd be like, well, teams have identified things on tape, which gets you to the next one, where you can attack him. There's not much tape out on him. So, like, there's, when the Jags do tape work this week, they're probably not going to have a lot of, oh, here you can do this, here you can do that. Well, it's 37 snaps. You're not going to identify some major weakness in that time frame, if you're being completely honest. But 6 games go by, if he's still playing, maybe there's something teams identify. It's hard to know. And then, just kind of to recap it all, he's a relative unknown and probably more of a major unknown. What we've seen looks awesome, but he is still raw in some sense of the word, hasn't played a lot. Like I said, though, I want to see more. Like, these are reasons, if anything, to give him more opportunities. Even if it doesn't work out the way you want to, it's like, okay, like, yeah, he's just a backup. And that's fine, by the way. If he's just a backup, like, this guy was a college defensive tackle and he's a backup guard, that's already a hell of a find. If he's a starter, it's like, it's gold. I mean, you have found just, gold in a pile of crap somehow. It's just unheard of, this guy's journey. So, listen, I think I've said it on a couple videos this week. I'll say it again. Teven having this ankle thing almost feels like an opportunity to me. Like, I get it. You're trying to win this game against Jacksonville. But if Teven's like 80%, feels like a good opportunity to just sit him this week, play Bill Murray, see how it goes. You have Nate Davis as a backup if it's just a disaster and you need to put somebody else in. Ryan Bates could be back as well, depending, pretty soon. So I want to see more. I hope we see more. And I want to hear from you guys. If everyone's healthy, Bates is back, Jenkins good to go, who are your 2 starting guards this week? I want to see Bill Murray and Matt Pryor. If I said those words in August, that you'd put me in an insane asylum. But things change, and they change quickly in the NFL. Injuries pop up. Players surprise. Players disappoint, like Nate Davis. I would like to see Bill Murray and Matt Pryor be your 2 starting guards this week. And then you go into the bye week, and you have more data and information to analyze as a coaching staff. That is what I would do. If it blows up in your face, hey, I'll defend the decision because that's something I would try to do if I was the Chicago Bears. All right, there you have it. Bill Murray, perhaps the latest hidden gem found by Ryan Poles. At worst, he seems like a good backup. At best, who knows? Maybe this is a good starter in this league. If you want more Bears content, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.